Hi guys, quick review. Volume 1, Volume 2. Let's do this.
Let's go.
So today we're looking at the two books here, Petit Lenormand Encyclopedia. We can all see, we all know, probably we have read my review that I am biased on a few points. Number 1, I am working with Björn. Number 2, these books were sent to me and they have a lovely thank you message inside, which is lovely. And number 3, when I read the first book, I was actually surprised at how much it sounds like me. So there are 3 things. Yes, I am biased because I love this method, because it's the method that I choose to work with my Lenormand. And of course, because I know Björn and I received these as a gift, which I love. I really love them. But what you need to know is that had I not received these as a gift, I would have bought them. No questions. I would have bought them straight away. I would have done this same review. And I would have said I bought them. And the review would actually carried on in the way that it's going to carry on now. Because once you open their books, there is no need for bias. The books speak for themselves. If you are a Lenormand reader, if you already consider yourself a long way along your path, that's okay. Still buy the books. If you are on your first leg of your Lenormand journey, perfect. Buy the books. Now I've got over that, let's have a look at the books. The books themselves, there's a volume 1 and a volume 2. Volume 1 starts with the process of learning the Lenormand language, the importance of questions, the importance of placements, the importance of how your Lenormand cards talk to one another, and how you build a story or the information that you want to extract from them, how you build that from question through to your answer and the Lenormand language, as I said. The books are very well laid out. Each chapter is a step on learning to read. And from step 1, we start with exercises. So every step of the way, there are exercises. And if you are on your first step, here we see exercise 1. So we can start literally pick up our cards and start using them with this first volume. I'll give you a quick flick through. We discussed the nature of cards coming first or coming second, how that alters the language, and another exercise, of course. There's so many things I actually loved about this first volume. I did mark myself, you have to excuse me, I do that with books because I use them as a reference. I always use my books as references. And in this house, if I use bookmarks, I would never know where I was because I have 2 lively boys. My bookmarks go all over the place. Point aside. So if we actually look at this, we have a sample spread for a gentleman using a significator card. So again, we are given an example of how to read. We're already told how to read the cards. Then we get an example of how we can put that into practice and an exercise on top for us. And the thing I absolutely loved about this book is how it goes back to tradition and the early Lenormand instructions. I've been surprised how many people, for example, don't use mounting as an enemy, because mounting in the early Lenormand instructions was a powerful enemy. An obstacle, yes, but also a powerful enemy depending on placement. So it's a nice touch that these books actually refer back to where it all came from, or where the meanings began. Another interesting point here is Björn gives you the information and then you can choose which way you move forward. For example, in his 9-card spread, he does speak about the past, the present, the future method. He also speaks about spreads being of a future nature. This is the way I read cards, is that when I lay them, I see a future spread. I don't necessarily see past, present, future, because the past for me, a querent hasn't come to me to know their past. They come to me to know their future, for predictions, fortune telling, call it whatever you like. And I like how Björn has put that in the book. That's one of the main points that made me think, God, did I write that? Because it really is something that could have come out of my mouth. And then again, we have different spreads and examples on how to read them. Here we have the mice card. Again, I've tagged this because it's nice to see the early information, what the mice are nibbling away at, for example. There are the negative cards, if you like, that sometimes are treated a little flowery by some modern readers. It's nice to see the negative cards being given that negative connotation, because life isn't all roses, life isn't all flowers, and sometimes negative things will come out in our spreads. Another thing here, again, timing in the Grand Tableau, wonderful. Yes, it's a future spread. For me, it's a future spread. I have no past in my Grand Tableaus. I set the intention for a future spread, and I then nail down the timings in there. So it's really nice to see how he works through the book with you, explaining very clearly these moves, or these small techniques, if you like, that actually will make a difference on your read. So there's knighting in there, there's mirroring in there, there's the playing cards in there even. So if you are an advanced reader, consider an advanced reader, there's still so much information in there that will keep you interested and keep the book on your table while you're doing readings. And that's what I always see as a great learning tool, a great learning book, is one that you want there with you when you're laying the cards.